There's a timeless proverb that says, "A man without self-control is like a city broken into and left without walls." This ancient wisdom doesn't merely offer poetic imagery. It is a deep truth about the structure of power, dignity, and discipline in the life of a human being. You are a city. Your thoughts, your decisions, your values, and your actions are the buildings, roads, and institutions that make you who you are. But none of this matters if your city lacks walls. Because without walls, everything you build is vulnerable, invaded by impulse, overrun by temptation, and ruled by chaos. Self-control is your wall, and without it, you are at the mercy of everything that moves outside you. Every great city throughout history was fortified, not because the world was safe, but because the world was dangerous. Walls were not a sign of weakness. They were a statement of self-preservation, sovereignty, and intent. Likewise, self-control is not repression. It is ownership. When you have self-control, you are saying, "I decide what comes into my mind. I choose what my body does. I determine where my time and energy go." This wall of discipline keeps your inner city clean, orderly, and governed. It's not about denying pleasure, but about choosing when and how pleasure enters your life. So it builds, not destroys. Without walls, your life is a party for everyone else's agenda. With walls, your life becomes purposeful. Without self-control, you're open to invasion by any force strong enough to tempt or trigger you. And the world is full of such forces. Lust sneaks in and burns your discipline down. Anger storms the gates and sets fire to relationships. Greed steals the resources of your time and energy. Addiction becomes the occupying force that enslaves your habits. Fear walks in unopposed and becomes your king. A man without self-control is not free. He's a puppet, a plaything for external forces. His day is dictated by urges. His mind is no longer sovereign. And he might still look successful. He might have money, fame, or attention. But the city is falling apart from within. You can't fake self-control. You either have walls or you don't. Building the walls, the process of self-control. If your city is without walls, the answer is not panic. It is construction. And like any construction, it is hard work. Self-control is not inherited. It is built. Here's how. Clarity of vision. Before you can build walls, you must know what you're protecting. What is your purpose? What is sacred to you? A city doesn't wall off random fields. It defends what is valuable. When your vision is clear, boundaries become easier to set. If your goal is to become strong, peaceful, successful, or wise, then distractions become obvious threats, not harmless detours. Daily habits. Self-control is not a once-in-a-while decision. It's a daily discipline. You reinforce your walls each morning with the choices you make. Do you snooze the alarm or rise with intention? Do you scroll endlessly or read deeply? Do you eat impulsively or fuel your body with purpose? Do you speak reactively or respond with wisdom? Each habit is a brick. Each choice is mortar. Over time, your wall grows. You feel it. People see it. You become different, not because you have more, but because you are fortified. Saying no with power. The most powerful word in self-control is no, not out of fear or restriction, but out of strength and direction. Saying no is saying yes to something higher. No to laziness equals yes to growth. No to lust equals yes to purity of mind. No to gossip equals yes to inner peace. No to junk food equals yes to vitality. No to distractions equals yes to destiny. Each no is a stone in the wall of your life. And the more consistently you say it, the more impenetrable your city becomes. Even fortified cities had gates. Self-control isn't about closing yourself off from the world. It's about deciding what gets in. Your eyes are gates. Your ears are gates. Your heart is a gate. You must install watchmen, your conscience, your standards, your values. When someone speaks to you with negativity, your watchman should ask, "Is this worth letting in?" When a temptation knocks, your guard should say, "Does this strengthen the city or weaken it?" Not every door deserves to be opened. Not every opportunity deserves your time. Not every emotion deserves a reaction. You must be selective. Because once the enemy is inside the gates, the walls don't matter. There's a difference between willpower and self-mastery. Willpower is useful in moments, but mastery is about structure. It's not about trying harder. It's about training smarter. True self-control means that you don't need to be supervised. You don't need external punishment to behave. You are governed by inner law, not outer enforcement. This is sovereignty. A city with self-rule, strong walls, and wise leadership does not fear attack. In fact, it becomes an example, a beacon, a place others seek refuge in. When you master yourself, your presence offers peace to others. You create order in a disordered world. Temptation doesn't always come charging in. Sometimes it lays siege. It waits. It whispers. It tries to wear you down. This is where resilience matters. Self-control is not just an instant no. It's a sustained not today, not ever. During moments of temptation, remind yourself of your values. Look at the long-term consequence. Use your tools: breath, prayer, movement, cold water, silence. The enemy outside your gates is not as dangerous as the traitor within. You must protect yourself from yourself. The part of you that wants comfort over growth, pleasure over power, now over eternity. For men especially, self-control is a foundation of masculine strength. In a world that encourages indulgence and collapse, the man who builds walls around his energy, focus, and purpose is rare and revered. The man who governs his sexual energy doesn't chase, he attracts. The man who guards his time doesn't rush, he builds. The man who watches his words doesn't react, he leads. The man who disciplines his emotions doesn't fall, he rises. He becomes dangerous, not to others, but to the forces that prey on the undisciplined. Self-control doesn't make you soft. It makes you immovable. And from that stillness comes a new kind of fire, the fire-controlled power. Building the wall is not the end. A city that doesn't maintain its defenses eventually crumbles. Likewise, self-control must be continually strengthened. Review your standards often. Remove weak habits. Replace broken bricks. Areas where you've slipped with stronger ones. Don't ignore small cracks. A moment of neglect can lead to disaster. Stay vigilant. The man who thinks he's arrived often falls the hardest. Pride is the enemy's secret tunnel. Stay humble, stay alert, stay prepared. As you build and guard your city, others will see the transformation. You'll become calm in chaos. You'll walk with clarity others crave. You'll speak with authority, not because you demand respect, but because your discipline commands it. You'll become rare. And in a world flooded with broken cities and fallen gates, your light will shine. Your strength will attract people, not because of what you say, but because of who you are. Join the Retain to Thrive Telegram channel at the link below, where we focus on building discipline, overcoming distractions, and achieving goals. Join the supportive community sharing tips, motivation, and accountability. Let's grow together, one step at a time. Let's conclude. You won't need to preach discipline. Your life will be proof of its power. You are a city. You are a fortress. You are sacred ground. And every time you choose self-control, you lay another stone in your wall. Every no to temptation is a yes to your future. Every act of restraint is a declaration. I am not owned by my urges. I am ruled by my vision. So build your walls high. Guard your gates well. Set your standards in stone. Because you are not meant to be overrun. You are meant to reign. And until your self-control matches your potential, your city is vulnerable. But once your walls rise and hold, you become unstoppable. You become a man of order in a world of chaos. You become your own ruler. You are a city with walls. And that makes you unbreakable. Subscribe to this YouTube channel and like the video.